Om Sai Ram to all Sai Bandhus across the globe. I am Sunanda from Chennai, sharing an excellent and exquisite Leela of Sai, which was experienced by one of his ardent devotees, Sri Venkataramana Murthy of Hyderabad. Sri Venkataramana Murthy is popularly known as Sai Murthy. Sri Sai Murthy has surrendered his life and soul at the feet of Sai Baba. Not only him, his entire family always is at the feet of Sai Baba and believes and has total faith in the doings of Sai Baba. Sri Murthy says that Sai Baba is such an omnipresent divine angel who pulls you out from a sinking ship, and this is the experience that Sri Venkataramana Murthy had, and that is the experience that I am going to share with you. Sri Venkataramana Murthy, alias Sri Sai Murthy, is a government employee and hails from a middle class family from Hyderabad. He has several credits to his name. In the first place, he is called Hemad Panth. This is because of the following act. In the year 2017, it occurred to him that many Sai devotees in the Andhra belt will not be able to buy the 1953 original edition of Sri Sai Satcharitram in Telugu and read that 640-page book. One, because of the volume, second, because of the cost, or maybe because of the time. Hence what he did, he took all the trouble of typing 640 pages on the mobile while travelling between home and office and back from office to home. Within a period of 6 months, that is from 24th of June to 8th of December in 2017. While doing this, when this typing process was going on, he had a vision. He saw the photograph of Hemad Panth, the author of the most sacred Sai book, Sri Sai Satcharitram. He was thrilled. In a way, it is actually a direct blessing from Sai Baba, because when Hemad Panth had decided to write, or probably took the blessings of Sai Baba to start writing his Sai's miracles in the form of a book, Sai Baba also appeared in his home on the holy day in the form of a photograph. So the blessing that Sai Murthy received is from none other than our Sai. The typing work was done, and all the 640 pages came on the mobile phone, and many of the people had derived benefit while going to their workplace or wherever they found time. They could read Sri Sai Satcharitra in Telugu. Apart from this, Sai Murthy is known for several of his services that he renders to the society. Within the limited means available to him, he goes about doing loads and loads of services. To give an example of few of the services, in the year 2019, occurred to him, or rather Sai made it occur to him, that he must go home to home, from house to house, and take bhiksha of wheat and collect enough wheat and surrender that wheat at Shirdi Sansthan Prasadalaya. So he and his wife Durgama, they did this very noble task of collecting, from going door to door and collecting wheat and then delivering it at Shirdi Sansthan. The second job that was entrusted to Sai Murthy was not to stop with this, but to enhance the number of kilos that was being offered at Sai's feet in Prasadalaya in Shirdi. So the entire plan was changed in the mind of Sri Sai Murthy by Sai Baba, and they devised a scheme where every month a devotee, interested devotees, will contribute a certain sum, and this sum will be totally, after the end of a year, will be totaled, and the value of that will be equivalent to the amount of the number of kilos of wheat that could be purchased and offered at Sai's feet. So this has started from 2019 onwards. Recently, in this month, on the Ramanavami day, with Sai's grace, 9,300 kilos of wheat was collected and delivered at Prasadalaya in Sai Sansthan Shirdi. Now, for the upcoming months and years, another plan has been devised by SAI, because maybe many of them would love to participate, but the amount that was suggested earlier would not be pocket friendly to them. So SAI suggested that whoever sets aside 11 rupees every day, they can collect the entire amount, and by the end of the year, 11 into 12 months, whatever is the amount collected, that will be equivalent to donating 100 kgs of wheat. Similarly, a little more, if somebody can set aside 21 rupees every day, that will be, for after 1 year, they can be able to donate 200 kgs of wheat to Sai Baba. So this is how the scheme has just been commenced, and definitely with Sai's grace, this will take off very well. Thirdly, Sri Sai Murthy once happened to see a few lepers, and that touched his heart, because they were not getting the right food, they were not getting the right clothing. He really felt very bad about it and started devising plans as to how to help them. Their location of stay was situated almost 30 kilometers from the heart of city of Hyderabad. He used to travel there and see what their needs were, and that's how he began collecting small donations from people as their might could be and will could be, and started donating provisions, then clothes for winter, blankets, bed sheets, medicines, and these kinds of things. And this service is still continuing with the families of there are 33 families of lepers, and for all the families, this kind of provisions and needy essential things are being delivered through Sri Sai Murthy with the help and support of various philanthropists. I am coming to the real miracle that I wanted to share with you all. In the year 2017, Sri Murthy, Sai Murthy, was in need of a sum of rupees 3 lakhs. So he approached a bank, State Bank of India, and applied for a loan. At the same time, almost another colleague of his by name Ramu also applied for a loan for 5 lakhs. So when they approached the bank, the loan was sanctioned, and the banker said, since you both belong to the same department, and that to a government department, you both can sign for each other as surety. So they both agreed and signed the requisite papers as surety for one another. By next 2.5 years, Sri Murthy was able to complete his loan, and he closed the loan of 3 lakhs and repaid the entire amount to the bank. Whereas Mr. Ramu paid only for 1 year and absconded. He is still absconding. So from the year 2018 onwards, Mr. Ramu's whereabouts are not known. So since Mr. Murthy had given the surety, banks approached Mr. Murthy to repay the amount. Initially, Mr. Murthy mentioned to them that the person, whoever has taken the loan, is only absconding, he is not dead. So he still can be traced, and the amount can be recovered from him. But to the misfortune of Sri Murthy, the bankers declined this, and they approached the court and sent a summons to Mr. Murthy. Unfortunately, the first summons was not received by Murthy, it just got misplaced. When the second summons was received, he was in a shock, because the amount that was to be paid to the bank, State Bank of India, on behalf of Mr. Ramu was 6 lakhs. Mr. Sai Murthy belongs to a very normal middle class family, and he had a daughter of marriageable age and also son who was still studying. So he was in a fix as to how he would be able to fund this 6 lakhs and repay the loan to the bank. So he approached an advocate and sought their help. The advocate said, we will need about 30,000 towards our professional fee, and for which we will give you 3 installments and you can pay accordingly. The first installment of 10,000 was paid, and the papers were put up in the court on behalf of Mr. Murthy, and that he was innocent with regard to this, and Mr. Ramu is genuinely absconding. The case went on for some time. The advocate asked for the second installment of 10,000, that was also paid. And in the meantime, Mr. Murthy had a very close friend who used to normally look into the net and see what is the status of the case. So one such morning, that friend of Mr. Murthy called him and he said, "What have you done? Have you paid the amount back to the bank?" Mr. Murthy said, absolutely no way, because I'm not having that much money to pay, and case is still on. Then the friend said, no, the case has been dismissed. This is what the status of the case on the net says. Mr. Murthy was in a shock, absolutely shock, but a very pleasant shock. So he immediately contacted his advocates and asked them, what is all this about? The advocate herself said, I am myself very confused, because the status on the screen of the net, in the net, on the website of the court says that the case has been dismissed. So I will now go to the court and find out what is the cause for the dismissal of the case and how this was possible. On going to the court, she sought the help of the local staff there, and she got hold of a letter from State Bank of India which stated that the amount has since been settled, which means the amount that was due by Mr. Ramu and which was payable by Mr. SAI Murthy as indicated by State Bank of India has since been settled. So this was a big puzzle to the advocate as well as Mr. Murthy, because they wondered how such a big amount was settled and who was the person who settled. Those whereabouts, those details were not available to them. Yes, ultimately the best part of the whole trial was that without a small pinch of difficulty, SAI cleared the loan, the outstanding that was otherwise would have been he would have been made to pay. Mr. Murthy would have been made to pay. So this is the kind of love SAI shows towards his devotees, who surrender heart and soul to SAI and who are having total faith in SAI, that too unswerving faith in SAI. So Mr. SAI Murthy came out of the case. He was cleared out of all this legal issues, and he is a very relaxed person now and owes everything to SAI. So when this was narrated to me, I felt this has to be shared with all the Sai Bandhus across the globe, because everyone must know the faith, the power of faith. Once we repose the faith in SAI, anything is possible, and there is nothing impossible for our SAI.